it's Mealie, and welcome back to Klein Tuin Zoo, my little early 20th century South African zoo that I'm building here in Planet Zoo, of course. And today, as you can probably see by the title, I am going to be working on a bandstand. So, yeah, this bandstand is probably going to be at the end of this road over here, so where this gate is. Gonna have all the bandstand in the middle as well as like a surrounding little area for guests to sit in that. So yeah, today should be quite a short one because I don't imagine the bandstand will take me so long, and then also because the bandstand seemed like a simple task. Well, I say that now, maybe I'll run into some complications, but it should be fine. I'll also do some other stuff around the park, like getting some nice plantings for these these palm trees. Maybe do some more garden stuff around here, because last few episodes all my attention's gone to this side of the park. I've kind of forgotten about this side, so yeah, I'll do that. Then also another thing I want to do is maybe the lion house. If you watch my last episode, you'd have seen that the lion house kind of needs a bit more. I need to redo the interior, because this trick here that I had before of sinking these climbing frames into the ground so that the lions could climb on them and fit through the small space doesn't work anymore. Frontier changed the hit boxes, I think, or something like that, but it doesn't work. So I need to redo the interior of the lion house, redo the doors, and then maybe change up the climbing structures and whatnot in here. And I think what I'm going to do is use like this little door design, this sandstone door, the same kind of thing I used for the bear house that we built last episode. So I'll kind of take those designs and put them in the lion house, because I think they'll suit quite well. So yeah, not a whole lot of stuff that I'm planning to do. Today should be a pretty short episode. You'll tell by the runtime, and if I don't find any random nonsense to talk about for too long, then hopefully I can get this episode out quickly, and it'll just be a simple one. Just minor updates here and there, plus the bandstand. But anyway, I'm gonna go work on that, and I'll check you in a bit. Okay, some time has passed and I've done some building. So first thing you'll notice is that this main path along the zoo is not dirt anymore. I actually have bricks running all the way along it with this what's this? It's brick pillar piece, I believe. Yeah, just kind of bordering this pathway. And you can kind of see in the background some new stuff that's been added. You can see the bandstand a little bit there, but I'm gonna check that out a little bit later. So if we walk to the right, I did add a little bit. Yeah, I just kind of copied this circular planter here and just placed it here and placed it there. And you can also see some boxed lemurs, of course, because climbing animals often get the boxes. Let's unbox them. But then also what you see is that these trees have actually grown up. So yeah, I've mentioned before that the trees in the series will eventually become big in that. So I've finally done that with these palm trees. Yeah, so they finally big, and these ones are still small because they were just recently planted. But these were planted many years ago, so they finally grow big. I actually probably could have made these saplings bigger. I think I'll wait for next episode to make them big. Yeah, also got some construction going on there. That's something for next episode. And I was considering neatening up these planters because they are a little bit rough around the edges. But since next episode I'm going to be working here, I think I'll do some more plantings around what I'm going to build here and maybe fix this up to match that. Yeah. So anyway, let's walk back on the main path. But now we're going to veer off again, because I'm going to save the bandstand and all that for the end. So if we come over here to this holding pen I had, what I decided to do is put a breeding pair of ostriches in here. So yeah, now we have one baby. I would have liked a bit more, but the game only gave us one baby. So yeah, separated the parents and the baby from the zebras, because I know zebras can be a little bit aggressive at times. They might try and kill the baby or something, so let's keep the baby away from them. I guess technically I could probably even just have the father and the baby, because often with these large flightless birds it's the father that looks after the baby, but I guess the mother can do some parental care. I have seen ostriches where the mother takes care of the baby alongside the father. Now, some of the other large birds, like I believe emus and cassowaries, there it's like purely paternal care. Only the father takes care of the baby. But anyway, let's walk along here because I've done some stuff in front of the lion house. That's right, I've got a new garden. So yeah, over here is a flower garden. Don't know if you could tell by all the flowers. So yeah, right, there's the lion house, which we'll check out in a bit. Waterfowl, and here on the bottom layer we got a new garden. I really like how this came out. Might be a little bit too lush, like all the flowers blooming all at once, so yeah, this is like a springtime or summertime garden. But yeah, I like it. So yeah, let's take a walkthrough of this garden. So you can see most of the flowers in here are daisies, but we do got some other plants. I'll show you in a little bit. So yeah, I put some plaques on the floor, just kind of guess information about the flowers. So yeah, here's one, just daisies, just general information about daisies. But we got these white ones, which I think this green plant, this like green flower bed here, is supposed to be giving rise to these white flowers, but the entire thing doesn't go white all at once, it stays but green. Unlike the yellow flowers over here where they all just bloom at once, or the African daisies where all the plants bloom. And then I'll walk along over here. And see I have another plaque here for the king protea. So yeah, an indigenous South African plant, and I figured, yeah, why wouldn't it be in this garden? So yeah, got some proteas up there. And over here we've got a little implied exhibit, a little aviary for budgerigars, or as most people call them, at least I call them budgies. So yeah, they're those small little birds. I maybe even call them parakeets, although parakeets is a little bit more vague of a term because it can refer to several different species. Yeah, but budgerigar or budgies more specifically refers to them. Yeah, we just got small aviary, we got some ropes, some branches. Over here I use the Arctic box, the Arctic square, and then just use a bracket to kind of look like this little opening that the birds can go into these boxes with. And we've got an archer just scaling there. So yeah. So now here's a little special plant. This is the Woods Cycad, which is an endemic South African plant, and the reason what's special about it is that it's currently today extinct in the wild, and I wanted to put it in this garden because a person I know called Antec or Velocity or General Underline, I'm not sure which name to use, but yeah, they commented in one of my videos giving me this amazing idea to create a garden based around plants extinct in the wild in South Africa, or specifically said the heaths or the ericas that became extinct in Cape Town, and then I kind of extended that idea to the cycads. I thought that was an amazing idea, so I figured, I'm gonna I'll definitely implement that idea. There's just a problem is I can't really do that right now in the zoo's timeline, because now the current year is 1913. This wood cycad, well, presently it is extinct in the wild. It only actually becomes extinct in the wild in, I think, 1915, was it? 1916, yes, when the last wild stem was removed. So I can't really have that extinct in this garden based around plants that are extinct in the wild, because a lot of them aren't. Like there's another erica species, I believe the Kleinworth heath or something like that, that only becomes extinct in the 80s, and then another plant, well actually let me fly over to this side because I think I have that, the blue cycad, which I'm trying to represent here. Like this plant's a little bit the blue cycad is supposed to be a bit more blue. The leaves are washed out, but this is the only thing I can use. But anyway, the blue cycad only becomes extinct in the wild in 2008. So the only actually plant extinct in the wild at this time is this one over here, Erica verticella, which I've dubbed the extinct flower. Oh no, what should I say? Verticillata. I said verticella. Why did I say that? Erica verticillata. Yeah, so this plant became extinct in the wild in, I believe, 1908. So yeah, that's the only actual extinct in the wild plant I can have in this garden at the time being. But in the future, when the zoo updates in the timeline, once we get to modern times, I'll definitely take Velocity's idea and have a garden just focused around maybe 4 or so plant species that are extinct in the wild and endemic to South Africa. But I can't do that just yet because they aren't declared extinct except for Erica verticillata, and I think 3 years time down the zoo's timeline, the good old Woods Cycad will unfortunately be extinct as well. So yeah, fun fact about Woods Cycad, it isn't really people that made the Woods Cycad extinct. It was just kind of it's just a really rare plant. Only like a few stems, I believe like 4 or so stems were found, and then they were all removed from the wild and then brought into botanical gardens, and then or just one botanical garden. I think Durban Botanical Garden has them all, has 2 of them, and then all the other ones that you find around the world are just clones of those 2. And all the ones that were found were all male, so they can't sexually reproduce anymore. It's only asexual reproduction. So yeah, this one would be a clone of one of the 2 in Durban Botanical Gardens, I guess. Yeah. Alright, let's just take another little walk around the garden so you can see a little bit more. Bench. Oh yeah, showed you this King Protea already. Not all the plants are labeled with a plaque, like this cycad isn't labeled. This is just generic, unimportant cycad, I guess. Like if you go to botanical garden, yeah, some of the plants will be labeled and some of them will just be like, the garden's just like, we don't know what it is either. So here we have an Erica verticillata. In their garden we have a little kind of rock stack thing, just to kind of draw interest to this place. Walk along here we have some salvias, or I believe sages is another name for them. Yeah, I use this alpine currant and I believe it kind of looks like a salvia, so I put them in there. And over here we have a little walkway to a little picnic bench you can kind of sit on in the middle of the garden if you want. Just admire all the flowers. And we've got our blue cycad, so yeah, it's a lot more dense in the foliage. Now, the way I kind of set out this garden is kind of have like most of it be these daisy fields, and then there's kind of like islands inside, if that makes sense. So like this is kind of an island with a budgie aviary. Got a kind of island here with the Erica verticillata and these kind of red flowers, generic red flowers. And over here we just have the garden with the salvia, and I think I also have Scaevola, or that's what's the in-game name? The fairy fan flowers. I think Scaevola is the genus name, so I went with that one. Yeah, and this one's also a lot dense because it's under this big tree. Oh, and here we also got like a kind of, I don't know, elevated region. Like you have the daisies down here, and then up here you have proteas and flowers and bushes there. So yeah, I kind of like how this garden turned out. Really nice. And I went with the 2-meter path technique to kind of get this gravel in, because I wanted the gravel texture, and then those 4-meter paths are just way too big. So use the 2-meter path. There are a few tutorials on YouTube you can go check out to see how you can do this. So yeah, so that's kind of like I like how this rise to the line exhibit kind of works. It's like 3 layers. You got the garden, you got the waterfowl, and then final boss is the lion. Yeah, so we got some. Let's go past our waterfowl exhibit, and you can see we also had a baby blue here. Got 3 little peafowl chicks, just chilling. And along the pathway here, I added these planters because the path was kind of curved. It's coming out like that, so put the planters in so it looks straight. And just have some flowers in. What is this? Okay, that's weird. Yeah. Got some flowers and then got some baby palms. And yeah, I kind of took my same trick like what I did with these saplings over here. Put these poles on the side so it looks like they're being supported. And since we actually now have a rope piece, I just put the rope around so it looks like it's tied. These trees, I don't think the rope piece was released just yet, so I used letters. I could go and change them with the rope piece, but it's such a small detail for like not that big not that noticeable, so whatever, I'm just leaving it there. But anyway, yeah, I've renovated the lion house, and let's go see what renovations I did. First of all, you'll notice there's new climbing structures on the inside in these like indoor wings. The lions can climb up there, although I've only ever seen a lioness climb up here once. They rarely climb on these things. It's very upsetting. I haven't put this little food balls so they'd be motivated, but they hardly do that. And over here, I actually found an alternative to what I had before. So before, if you saw in the beginning of the video, I'd use these climbing platforms, sunk them into the ground, and like so. And then the lions can climb on them. But then it kind of broke. But then what I realized is that I could use these wooden planks, these thick planks, because these are wooden, and therefore, like anything wooden in the game, animals can climb on. So if you look into the traversable area, you can see the lions can climb on them, and it actually works out better than these climbing platforms, because these ones, they kind of like leave these dark lines in the ground. These are flat. These wooden planks are flat, and if you're just outside looking in, you can't even really notice them. So really great. I can still keep doors that aren't like so big. I can keep these smaller sized doors, and you can see the doors are a bit different. I took some of the doors from the Bear exhibit that we made last episode. It was last episode. And then also got some doors here for the staff to get in, or if they want to take the lines in out, they can come through there. So I also got some climbing structures over here, and you see I put the wooden planks on there so the lions can kind of climb on this. Or it says that this is traversable area for the lions, but let me select the lion. Goddamn. Yeah, it says it's traversable area, so the lions should be able to climb this. I've never seen them climb it though, that's the problem, so I've never seen them come up here. I haven't tried and put a blood scent enrichment to do that. And on this side I've only seen them come on once, like I said before, so kinda sucks that they don't use the climbing structures, but they do at least use this little walkway thing to move around, so that's cool. So yeah. You can see, divided the exhibit in half like I said I would. And on this side we have another pair of lions. So these were probably lionesses that were born to the pair up there. So these like might be a year or two old. An interesting fact, like some zoos in this day and age, when lions gave birth to cubs, they would have to take the cubs away from their mother because due to the stressful conditions of keeping them in small concrete boxes like this, the lionesses would sometimes kill the cubs. So the cubs were hand-reared, and then once they grew up, they could be thrown back in with their parents. Although, yeah, I kind of kept them by themselves, so no incest happens. And also, next episode they're being shipped off to somewhere else because there's a new big cat species coming in next episode, but I'm not going to spoil that just yet. You can see it's still a bit buggy. The climbing things, they sink into the floor sometimes and that. But it's fine, they use it, which is cool. These lionesses, they also don't use this climbing structure. For some weird reason, I had to put these wood planks on the floor here, as well as this little ramp, because otherwise they wouldn't even be able to see the climbing structure. If I took those away, this climbing things won't be traversable. So. Really weird, although not that it matters because they don't even climb anyways. But yeah. So yeah, that's the renovated lion house. Like I said, next episode we're gonna get some new big cats to come in this place. But yeah, for now, just lions. But anyway, let's go on and see what the stuff that gave the video this title, the bandstand. So walk over there. Actually, you know what? Let's start here because yeah, I did some modifications to the pathway. Whoop. Yeah, I put some planters here. So before these palms were just on the ground, and now I put them in some nice little planters. Made out of brick. Got this elevated area for the palm trees, and then this lower down area for just some flowers. So here we have azaleas. These are like probably like lavenders or something. Just kind of along, yeah, just walking along the path. There's openings so you can get to places. So if you want to go for a camel ride, you can come here or here. If you want to go out to the little field, you can walk out to here. So yeah. The thing I changed with the restaurant is I changed the pavement. Before this was just matched the texture of that, but I don't know, it felt a little too homogeneous to just have the textures matching, like the floor of this cafe and the floor of the walkway, the main walkway matching. I don't know, it didn't look right in my mind, so I changed it to this brick texture, and it's kind of like a theme I have. Some of the areas, like over here, you have this brick texture, and here you have a brick texture over there. So kind of like with plazas, you'll have that brick texture, and the pathways will be this brick texture. So if you look over there, it's like a walkway, not really a plaza. I don't know if I explained that right. Last but not least, the bandstand. So yeah, like I said before, this is based on the one at Johannesburg Zoo. I'll actually throw up a picture right now of my source photograph, a picture taken in 1920. So yeah, the actual bandstand at Johannesburg Zoo is constructed, I believe, 1910. Yeah, and back in the day it had this fence, like you have this big bandstand and you had bushes all around it, and some hedges, and then a fence to kind of stop the guests, and just haphazardly placed benches everywhere. Nowadays it looks very different because well, one, all the trees around it are grown up, and two, because they moved all the bushes and all this fences, so it's a lot more open. And I kind of like how it looks today over how it looked in the olden times when we were still young. And there also aren't any benches, so if you came here, you bring your your picnic blankets, and you just sit down on the ground, and there's no benches or anything. And I kind of like how that works in today. But yeah, but since we are in early 20th century, I decided let's go with the early 20th century design of this. And obviously, as time passes along, maybe I'll convert it to like how Johannesburg Zoo's bandstand is right now. You can see the bandstand is lowered into the ground, and it has this kind of sandstone wall, retaining wall. It is a little bit tricky to kind of get the terrain to work like here. As you can see, there's a lot of bumps here and there for me trying to get the terrain. And even in here, you can see the terrain does kind of just jot down a little bit. I tried putting these rocks in to kind of hide these little gaps there. So I think in the future what I might do is just put a garden around it, and that way I can sink the ground in further, because the ground sunken in will be hidden by plants, and it will look a lot more even. But for now, I just wanted to try it like, you know, this nice open field, no plants around the borders, just like that. And I did have to put a little bit of a cheaty move with these trees. Like this tree was over here, and I believe this tree was over there. So I kind of just move them over a few meters to the outside of the ring. Yeah, we've got four kind of stairways to get into this place, although guests probably will only use this stairway. There's no reason for them to come here, or here. To make the bandstand, I use a circle technique. I'm not going to really explain it now because I explained it when I was building that gazebo a few episodes back, so we can check that out. Again, use sandstone as a base, a concrete like kind of slab at the top, and just stuff up here. I'm not sure what to say, and there's obviously a staircase so the bands and stuff can get on. I think that's pretty much all. Like I said, the Gemsbok exhibit did come up over here, but it was in the range of the bandstand, so we had to shrink the exhibit down a little bit. And now they have a smaller space. But yeah, I think that's all we've got to show for today. Amazing how I feel like I think this episode is titled Bandstand, but Bandstand is really such a small part of what I was explaining. Most of my stuff is gardening again. I spend too much time on plants. I'm not even like a major plant person. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you, there will be a world download available. Because I had a world download available for when I just finished the estate. And so now I figured every few updates, once I've done like a significant amount of progress with the zoo, I'll release a world download for you guys to come and check it out. So if you're new to the series, you don't want to watch back all the other episodes, you still want to familiarize yourself with the map, you can check the world download out and see everything I've built. And if you want to like maybe copy down some of the blueprints, like you want the lion house or maybe the stable, then you can come in the world download and just copy it yourself. I'm not sure if I will do an asset release. Maybe in the future I'll just have all these things separate and release. But for now, there's a world download. You can come and see everything. So yeah, if you have the game and you want a closer look at it, please make sure to go and check it. It'll be in the description. And if it's not there now, I'll try and do it soon. As soon as I try and upload this video, I'll try and get it in. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.